Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Real Hazardous. We're out here pretty good ways offshore doing some trolling today, hoping to catch some Wahoo and hopefully get a good fish for a tournament we're in. But it's a beautiful day, great seas, slick calm, so hopefully we'll have a great day, so stay tuned. So we get out there and conditions aren't quite what we hoped for. It was pretty warm leaving the inlet, and we're making about a 70-mile ride out. I thought it would get warmer, but it really didn't. I was hoping to be in the low 70s, and it was in the just upper 60s, around 67, 68, where I was hoping to fish. So I had to go a little further out. I prefer a little bit warmer water, you know, ideally that low 70s, 72, 74, that kind of range. Also, the water was a little dirtier than I was hoping. We started trolling around, but I wasn't marking much bait, which also wasn't a good sign.
Oh man, something's broke on. Decent fish, whatever it was. Probably why I got my bait.
Trying to jig up some bait.
He pulled harder than the whiting. You got one? What you got fish?
I think so.
Yeah, I had a nice one. Yeah, this week. I do something. Whatever hit it was hitting hard when I was coming up that thing.
Not what I wanted. Not what I was hoping for.
Did you get a grunt?
Yeah. We trolled around for a little bit. Finally found a decent marking, a good looking spot on Seymour maps. And we stopped and we tried to jig up some bait. We're gonna try some live bait fishing.
Yeah, reel them up. What you got?
Dang.
Oh, there he broke off. Did he get out? He break? Yeah. I think something's eating them as they're coming up. They waiting on him when he got down there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hold on there.
What you got?
Please.
Yeah. Caught a nice grouper, kind of funny on just a little bait rig. And then we caught some vermilion snapper. I was hoping to catch some blue runners, even some bonita, that'd be nice. But all we had was the vermilions. Little grouper. Not quite what we were after. Yeah.
Pull off them a little bit or not?
Okay, caught a couple vermilion. Normally good food. But today they're probably gonna be big. Gotta get them up fast. Not what I wanted. We decided to troll those for a minute, and we actually got a couple strikes. Didn't take long to get us some strikes.
Well, look at that. How can you miss the hook?
Y'all know who this is?
Dang. How close is guy gonna get?
He's just trying to get the numbers all he's doing.
See this rip?
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all close.
Yeah. What's the temperature change?
69, not much of a change really. We gotta have a line to put back down there.
Yeah. You wanna get on the clean?
Yeah, clean side. Yep, tighten it up, yeah.
Loop around, Dad.
Might be not really look good. Hey. Big fish. Yeah, he's acting like he wants to run it.
take him out of that rod holder and bite him. Yeah, you get on top of him like a kingfish.
Oh yeah, yeah, a big line. He's coming up.
Ah, shoot.
There's a amberjack. Look at that, we got. I've never seen anything attack an amberjack.
Well, at least it was amberjack that they got.
Yeah. Right on top of it. Yeah, I kind of thought amberjack when he wasn't really feeling the line much. That's a big old amberjack too, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
We got a bite of that for that shark or whatever.
We fought this one fish. Hoped it would be a wahoo. Didn't really make a good long run though. And when we got it up, it was part of an amberjack. I guess a shark had got it on the way up, but you know, it was a good size amberjack and it ate a pretty big vermilion snapper. So there's definitely big fish when you get way offshore. It's 72 1/4. Oh yeah? Yeah, well. It might be on there, but barracuda.
Yep. Hold on back up on here.
Doing some of that slower speed trolling. We had a barracuda on at one point. Again, hoping for a wahoo and got that barracuda, but it's okay. At least there was a little bit of signs of life there. Not the fish we were hoping for, but we got back on the troll. This time a little bit slower. I was trolling some ballyhoo and my CNH rattlejet way back and a couple other lures. Trolling about 8-9 miles an hour. Also was experimenting with trolling with a dredge. I had a Jim Lux dredge boom set up going, and I had a dredge pulling behind it. It was a nice little rig. It's kind of my first time using it, so I'm still working out the kinks and getting used to it, but a pretty neat tool. And when we were fishing, when we were trolling this, someone had seen a fish jump along, you know, silverish looking fish. So we kind of trolled in that direction. Well, right before we were getting ready to leave, all of a sudden something hits our rattlejet. And we look way back there because it's our way back lure, and we see a fish jumping. At first, like, what is that? It looked like it made one sky, but it kept jumping. We realized it was a sailfish. Or it's a sailfish.
Oh, it's a sail. Okay, that's what I saw.
That'll work.
Sailfish on the
Yeah. Yeah, one of them. We got
man, jumping way back there.
Where's all this stuff?
Maybe the dredge works. Yeah, he's jumping over there. Sailfish on. The line was way back. We had to get turned around, come tight to it. My line was had a pretty good bow to it, so I'm working with my dad and the rest of the team to get the boat turned around so we can get back on this fish. Give me some speed. Take it to the left. Tight.
I think the fish is right there. Left, or get back right somewhere.
Yeah. Can you grab that speed cushion from under the seat? Thank you.
Nice choice.
Watch it, Dad. Get a little loose. Slow down a bit and hard right. Crank that as hard as it'll go. Oh yeah, get on this fish. There he is. Hard right. Slow down and hard right. Yeah, make a hard left and we'll bring him to the other side.
He's coming around. Get ready. I'll see you later. There goes. Nice sailfish too.
Yeah.
Hold on. Is there anything else? That's a big sailfish there now.
Can you back it up some?
You want to put it in gear a little bit?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful sailfish.
You have to do it.
That is a beautiful one. Almost makes it look wild on the grip. They don't go. Little sailfish you ever seen. Rattle bit, little buddy. I don't rattle bit, did it? What's up?
Yes, sir. Good job.
As soon as you said we're going to move, it was on, wasn't it?
So I was wanting to cover some more ground. Just really hadn't seen anything real good. I was hoping to find better water. So we get back on the high-speed troll and start trolling south. That's a good sign, guys. Mark it? Yeah, I marked it. We're trolling for a while and finally we get a strike, and this is a Wahoo strike. We're going fast and it starts peeling line. Is he there?
Where's the gap?
I got it. Is he there?
Wahoo too. What happened? Pull that in?
There's no shock leader.
This one have a mark on it?
There's no shock leader on it. It's got to have a shock leader. Bring that in, take that lure out, and we got to put a shock leader between that weight and the fish. Unfortunately, it quickly came unglued. We brought the line in and realized we'd made a mistake when we put out the rig, when we switched from ballyhoo to our high-speed gear. We put the weight on, we put the lure on, but we didn't put a shock leader in between the weight and lure. And that's very important. It would have helped. I mean, Wahoo still, you know, pull hooks sometimes on the striker. You know, if they're not striking real hard, you know, they come unglued for whatever reason. They can shake the bait loose. But still, it's important. Make sure you have that shock leader. You know, you can't avoid something like this. He got off pretty quick.
I think so.
Mark some more stuff. It could have jerked it off. I mean, with no shock, because it ripped out before I even slowed down.
Yeah, we got off pretty early.
Yeah, at least in the right area.
Yeah, that is the good thing about it. Also, one thing I'd like to point out, when you're high-speed trolling, a common setup is to use braid nowadays. So on my lines that are on my tag line, you know, on the gunnels, not my flat line rods, not my bent butts, I have braid, 130-pound hollow core braid, and I splice in about 50 yards of 80-pound mono, and those usually have smaller weights, like a 24 and 32 ounce, and I still have a shock leader between the weight and the lure. The bent butts are just braid going to the weight, which then go to the shock leader, supposedly, and the lure. So remember, there's no stretch with braid. So it's very important to set your drags appropriately. You don't need that thing locked down. Even though the line can take it, you want it ideally as loose as possible to where it'll hook the fish, but not, you know, jerk the hooks through his mouth. How's the drag? Let me check the drags on all of them. Should be able to walk up to all of these and pull line. You can't pull line, it's way too tight. So I'm just gonna go click more. Line. With our setup, you know, we've got a 64 and a 48 ounce on our bent butts. And when you're high speed trolling, if you put the drag just enough so the line isn't, you know, peeling off the reel. So like if we're going 15, 16 miles an hour and we've got these weights on, we've got the drag just enough to where if they snag grass, they're slowly gonna peel out. Which is a good catch, you know, if your lure gets grass, you wanna know that so you can clean it off. So if something like that happens, it peels off. You don't wanna just lock it down. You should be able to, at least in my opinion, go up to each of your high-speed reels while you're trolling and just take your hand and be able to pull line off. Now, if you were to slow down, you wouldn't be able to do that because you don't have that force on the lure helping you. But while you're running, you know, you should be able to peel it out with your hand. And that means, you know, it's tight, but not so tight it's gonna rip through the Wahoo's mouth. So just some food for thought depending on your trolling setup. All right, coming back through the area, just had a Wahoo strike earlier, got off. Something hit that one. It's not big. I have no idea.
It's big, but I felt him when I had my hand on the rod and it's boom.
Yeah, well that's good. I mean, it's good to be watching and feeling it. That's important.
I don't think anything's still on here.
It might not be a big one, or it may not be enough, but he definitely, I felt him hit it.
Now, one thing that's really important, really good credit to my dad. We got that first strike and we're going back through the area. We're working that area hard because obviously there is a Wahoo there. And my dad was watching the lines, and when we were going through the area, we had another bump on it. Like, he was literally watching, he had his hand on the reef. He felt it. You know, it didn't scream drag. I wouldn't have noticed it, but he was paying attention and he saw that, and that's another good sign. When you're trolling, pay attention to your rods. Now, obviously, if you're a driver, you got to pay attention to where you're going and probably your depth recorder and other electronics. But your team should be in the back paying attention to the rods, the conditions, looking for bait. You know, sometimes that's all you'll get. That rod will bend, like something goes right up to it, maybe just hits the skirt, or, you know, I don't know, it does something, and there's just a bend. And that's a good signal, like, hey, there's a fish there, didn't bite just yet, but at least you'll know. Let's loop around, make a couple passes, make note of it, and you may, you know, capitalize on that little clue. So really pay attention.
I mean, like I said, it was definitely a fish. I thought.
Okay, that's good.
Are you ready? Are we in the same area?
Yeah, still in the area. We are back at the dock. It's a nice day weather-wise, really great weather, which was really nice. Not too cold. Fortunately, the Wahoo fishing was slow. It's pretty disappointing, but you know, you fish it, learn it, and keep at it. So we're gonna keep at it. It was really awesome catching the sailfish. Really enjoyed that, and got to try a few new things, learn a few things. So we're gonna get back at it again soon. So stay tuned. We'll see you next time on Real Hazardous.